Hi everyone, my name is Jay. Today we are back with Dunearn House. Just a part 1 series because the full floor plans are not out yet. If you have been monitoring the land sales, including Dunearn House, there will be a total of 5 to 6 launches that could possibly come up. So in this area, Dunearn House is the first one. So we think that there's an oversupply coming to this area. And a previous performance in District 10, Royal Green and 4th Avenue, they didn't really do so well, especially in the resale market. So what exactly happened to these two condos? Later we're going to be discussing more about it. This being in the leasehold around in this area, does it make more sense to buy a cheaper freehold? As well as with the upcoming supply coming, like I mentioned earlier on, how do we actually choose the winning layout or the winning size over there? Let's just get down to the rest of our content for today. Today we'll be going through the performance of Royal Green and 4th Avenue condo in terms of the timeline. How does it make sense for Royal Green and 4th Avenue? For those of you not familiar here, we're going to be talking about the location. And this being the leasehold in this area, sometimes you may encounter freeholds that's cheap around this area. For example, like in the Showflat area, maybe possibly you can get freehold development for about 2,000 to 2,003 per square foot. So does it make sense to consider Dunearn House or not? We will be going through the project details, site plans. There are some floor plans being released, not the full floor plans, but nevertheless we'll be discussing a bit more about it later on. And how do we choose the winners in this upcoming supply? Just some disclaimer before we begin. Today I'm going to be touching about performance of Royal Green condo and 4th Avenue condo. These two were launched in 2019, and to be honest, the performance of these two condos hasn't been so good. So I just want to track back in time, like what is the reason they have performed this way. In this whole stretch along Dunearn and Bukit Timah Road, last time in the past, 2018, this is Mayfair Gardens, along the same belt as Dunearn House as well. This will be closer to the Beauty World site that is near to reserve residences, considered under RCR District 21. So it launched in the first weekend in 2018 at an average price of 1,009 per square foot. If we were to wait with OCR launch in the east, in this case using Tapestry, also in 2018, they launched at an average price of 1,310 per square foot. So in the same year, but in different regions, OCR and RCR, the price gap is actually about 45%. If we look further on, in the year 2019, 4th Avenue Residences, which is in District 10, very close to where Dunearn House is, they launched at a per square foot price on average of about 2,375 PSF. And just 2 months later, Treasure at Tampines launched at an average of 1,280 per square foot. So what it means is that the price gap back then in 2018, the price gap between OCR and RCR for these launches over then was 45%, and the price gap between the OCR and the CCR was about 85.5%. Now looking back, I would say that at 2019, this price average of 2,375 per square foot, when we weigh to the OCR, I think that the price is really quite high at that point of time. So that's one of the reasons why when they enter in a high price relative to OCR, the margins were eroded, you can see from here. So what about this year of 2026? For now, we have already seen that Pinery Residences, which I have done, do check my video review. They launched this year at an average of 2,546 per square foot. And this year, Dunearn House is going to launch. And let's say if I implement this 40% price gap over here for Dunearn House, that means hypothetically the average of Dunearn House will be 3,564 per square foot. So is that a right price to consider? I think I leave it to you. As mentioned earlier on, there is possibly about 4 to 5 more launches behind them, even though historically the price difference is about 85.5%. If they were to launch 3,500 per square foot, you find that this price gap is too big. I think it will be quite difficult to move a lot of units if this is the average price. So I've done another hypothetical average of about 17.8%, assuming that they launch at an average price of 3,000. That means you have prices below 3,000, and of course you have prices above 3,000 per square foot. But on average, if it's $3,000 per square foot, then this price gap between OCR and CCR is really very narrow at 17.8%. Most important is how much they will be launching this, and from there we can gauge whether is it a safe buy or not. Because previously when we saw for 4th Avenue, the price gap was 85.5% with a similar OCR launch in Tampines. Even RCR further down the road to Beauty World side, the price gap was already 45%. So if they were to launch within the 20 to 30% range or even 70% range in terms of the price gap with the latest in Tampines, I think it may be a safe price to enter. There will be a couple of launches coming down, not just Dunearn House, we have one more upcoming very closely, Amberwood at Holland. So how do we actually pick the winners in terms of the layout and the pricing? It's something that I'm researching as well, so I'll be able to share with you a bit more later on. Before we proceed, help to support my Telegram channel. I'm still building up, but in this Telegram insider news, it's more like my weekly property diary. Not so much about selling properties, but it's more about different experiences. And I think even for agents or consumers, we're able to share more information with you and hopefully make your property journey a lot more fruitful. This one is in District 11, a few blocks here, 760, 762, 766, 768 and 770 Dunearn Road. They have done a very nice radius over here in terms of convenience from Dunearn House. Just 4 minutes walks to the nearest MRT 6th Avenue. Besides being close to the public transport, we're also within minutes drive to PIE. If you take the MRT, just 6 stops to the Orchard Belt and 9 MRT stops to CBD. This will be the first non-landed residences in Swiss Club area, the first plot under the Turf City transformation. And I'm happy most of the layouts here are squarish and efficient. Just now we are talking about Turf City. This is the entire area that URA has designated to be a new town over in this site. Government has already stopped renewing the lease for the Turf City area. We can see that we are just at the roadside. So it's very close proximity to 6th Avenue MRT. If you need to head over to the expressway, we can go by Eng Neo Avenue. And just to show you some perspectives, this is the artist's impression of Dunearn House. And when you see from this map, when you drive around this area, most of the high-rises are along the other side of Dunearn Road and the whole Dunearn Bukit Timah Road. The high-rises are usually nearer to Beauty World side, where we have the older freehold condos like Maple Woods and Cascadia. And the other high-rise portion will be more towards the Balmoral Stevens side. So in between, we really don't have much high-rises. So that means, right, in terms of the views, towards the south, looking out from here, this side, we'll be looking towards the unblocked landed views, including some of the GCBs. And for now, the north view will be quite empty. But let's just take into account like future, they'll be building other things there as well. So we have to examine the plot ratio carefully to see whether will these plots be blocked, because they have also carved out the land. So later on, we can see from the URA master plan, how does it fit into everything. Being close to 6th Avenue MRT has its advantages. Just one stop down, we can head over to the King Albert Park MRT, which in future will be the Cross Island Line interchange. And just 2 stops down from Tankaki to Botanic Gardens, we can change over to the Circle Line, which can lead you to Holland Village, One North, Labrador, Keppel, CBD, and if you go northwards, we can head over to the Bishan, Chuan area. And just another stop down from Botanic Gardens MRT, also we will hit the Stevens MRT, which will bring you to the Thomson East Coast Line. From here, we can go down to Orchard or even Marina Bay areas. This is a line that intersects a lot of the other lines as well, which gives a lot of convenience if you choose not to drive. Not forgetting, this is a very prestigious education belt. Schools like MGS, Nanyang, Pei Hwa, Raffles Girls and Henry Park Primary School all within proximity. From here also, the secondary schools like Nanyang Girls High, Hwa Chong and even NJC. We have a lot of international schools in this area as well. So this is also a popular place where expat families like to rent. As of now, they have not confirmed the proximity of the 1 km radius to the other schools, but it could be within 1 km to MGS. People that are usually buying in this area, most of the time, they are already alumni. Usually, for most of the preferred schools over here, being within 2 km is good enough. Like we have Henry Park, Pei Hwa, Raffles Girls. Because I was selling some properties in the Holland area near to Holland MRT, that property was not within 1 km to Henry Park, but the buyers that came and viewed, the young families, they're saying that actually within 2 km is good enough because they're already alumni. Near to where they're staying now, there's not a lot of new condos, and that's the reason why they're looking nearer to the Holland Village site. Back to Dunearn House, being within 1 to 2 km shouldn't be a big issue unless that year there's a big cohort of people looking to go to that same primary school, or if the parents are not an alumni. But usually people that buy around here, more or less, they already have affiliations to this school. Which brings us to the question, because right now, if Dunearn House launched at an average of 2,009 and 3,000, honestly, it's going to be expensive compared to even the freehold around there, within 2,000, 2,003 per square foot, lower than Dunearn House. You can get projects like in the Showflat area. So should we really consider Dunearn House or not? We just want somewhere new to stay. At the same time, we also don't want to feel shortchanged. Let's say I have to pay for a higher price. Should I just buy the lower price freehold instead or not? I really like to stay in a newer house. If the upside is lower than the freehold nearby that is cheaper, then do I feel like I'm shortchanging myself or not? I'm sure these are the things that will come to your mind if you are looking to buy around this area, especially for Dunearn House and upcoming launches as well. So I just want to give you a few examples of how is it like. For Dunearn House, I think our size is quite good in terms of the number of units and the facilities compared to the surrounding condos nearby, especially the cheaper ones. Just another disclaimer before we proceed. If you have any queries with regards to property, feel free to just WhatsApp me, and at the same time, do join my Telegram channel where I'll be propagating very helpful property insights on a weekly basis. I'm just going to give you a few examples with regards to expensive leasehold versus a cheaper freehold properties. So I have 2 examples over here. The first one is at the Holland area. So we have one Holland Village. They are the high-rise currently in the Holland Village area, if you don't know. This TOP in 2024, we have 296 units in one Holland Village, and bear in mind that this is leasehold. Just nearby, also near to MRT, is a smaller project with 26 units. Freehold, and its name is The Enclave at Holland. So I want to show you her performance. The freehold over here was actually cheaper than One Holland Village Residences. They launched in December 2019. For One Holland Village, there are a few collections. We have the Serene collection, we have the Leven collection, and the Quincy private residences. Serene is low normal units, and then we have the Leven, which is the low rise, and the Quincy private residences. They all have different average pricing. Serene has done 2006 PSF on average, Leven average of 2009, as well as the most luxurious one, Quincy private residences, they reach 3,002 per square foot. This was in December 2019. And I've taken the prices few months before the launch and a few months after the launch in the time range of June 2019 to June 2020 to check on the pricing. On average, the Enclave hit an average price of 2061 per square foot. In terms of the price, significantly lower than those done in One Holland Village, at least 20 to 30%. It has even reached a low of 1844 per square foot. This is an example where the more expensive leasehold versus a cheaper freehold. In the same time period, I'm buying the freehold at a cheaper price, but this is a small project. Look at the transactions from January 2025 until now. They have done an average of 3169 per square foot. So it has performed so much better, almost $500 more per square foot compared to the launch. For the Enclave at Holland, the same time period, January 2025 to now, the average pricing is only 2017 per square foot. Some have even done 1841 per square foot. The purchase dates are very similar, together with the selling date for both of the properties. Is there any reason why this has happened? This leasehold appreciated much faster compared to the freehold over here. Let me show you another example. This one over at Mata MRT in the blue line as well. Project is called Antares. It has 265 units, it being leasehold. Last time when we were trying to sell this area, they were saying like, hey, where is this Mata MRT? I haven't even heard before. And there's not much condos around there. At the same period, just TOP 1 year before, we have a freehold called the Navian with 48 units. Also within walking distance to MRT. Both share very similar location and it being in District 14. Antares launched in year 2019. Sales is not very good. They sold 20% of the 90 units released. Remember, we have about 200 over units. Back then, there was actually quite a lot of supply in terms of the overall market for the new launches. Average price achieved was 1760 per square foot. One done in 2019. Bear in mind, this one actually, if given a choice, the pricing can be quite close to the price done for the Enclave during 2019-2020 period. So because they scored a low of 1844 per square foot. Then we can see for the other project, the Navian at Ubi MRT, freehold 48 units, TOP 2021. They sold at an average of 1534 per square foot. So this is still lower than the leasehold Antares, coming in at 1760 per square foot, and the lows and highs are actually quite similar. So now when we look ahead, the same time period, January 2025 to June 2026, as well as for Navian, we can see that Antares has actually hit a high of 2002, with an average coming at 2059 per square foot. Navian also has appreciated around 1780, but the appreciation average is not as high as Antares. And secondly, the high is not as high compared to Antares. So what I'm trying to show you is not to tell you not to buy freehold, but sometimes when we weigh up leasehold in terms of project size compared to a freehold, I think we have to be very careful in terms of what kind of freehold that we're buying. Ultimately, a smaller freehold project, the appreciation may be much lower compared to a leasehold that is even more expensive during the same point of purchase. So let's say you're looking at Dunearn House, comparing to Shuffle area, no right, no wrong as to which one you choose. But if you really just want to stay in a new house, having to pay extra price compared to the freehold over there, at least when we compare it, this one at least will give you more facilities. And through these two examples, you can see that does not mean that you buy expensive leasehold means that you will lose money. In fact, it can actually appreciate in price when we compare to the freehold smaller projects. Back to the project details, this land was either awarded to a consortium of developers, Frasers, CSC Land and Secrecy House. Based on their projects, you should be very familiar with them by now. They've done a lot of high quality projects, even in the central area like Atelier, Sloan Residences is in District 10, Balmoral area. And we also bring in very good architects like Ong and Ong, as well as EcoPlan Asia as their landscape consultant. Moving on to the project details, this is in District 11. We have a total of 5 blocks, 2 blocks of 19 stories, so this will be the higher buildings that is behind, further away from Dunearn Road, and 3 blocks of 10-story residential building. We also have 1 basement car park, swimming pool, and tennis court as well. In terms of the car park ratio, we have about 228 lots, which is 60% provision. This development being near to the MRT, and when we see our unit mix later, I think that 60% allocation is okay because we have a total of 360 units over here. In terms of our unit type, we are from 2 bedrooms all the way to 3 bedrooms, 3 plus study, 4 bedrooms, and our biggest unit here will be our 4 bedroom plus study. Unit distribution, we have about 55% unit allocation to 2 bedrooms, 2 plus study. The size range can be from 527 square feet all the way to 678 square feet for our 2 bedrooms and 2 plus study. Moving on, we have our 3 bedrooms with a total of 25% of this development. So this comes in at a size of 872 square feet all the way to 1001 square feet. Lastly, for our 4 bedrooms, about 30% of our unit mix, a size of 1184 square feet all the way to 1378 square feet. In terms of the unit mix, we can see that 55% of them are catered to the 3 bedrooms and above. Very clearly, the developers are trying to target the homestay crowd because there's a higher proportion that is 3 bedrooms and above. But of course, there's still a substantial number of 2 bedrooms over here. And in terms of the collection, we have 2 collections here. The luxury collection, which is for the 2 bedrooms premium, all the way to the 3 bedroom plus study. We have 2 show flats for luxury collection, the 2 bedroom plus study, and our 3 bedroom plus study. And following the Pinnacle collection, this will be 2 blocks, and one level you have only 4 units. This Pinnacle collection for our 3-bedroom premium as well as our 3-bedroom premium plus study. So in terms of the finishings, they will be slightly different as well. I'll be elaborating this more in our part 2 series of our Dunearn House reviews. Just now I was saying that there will be some blocks that will be on a higher floor and there will be some blocks that will be on a lower floor. So this is actually the main road along Dunearn Road, looking on towards the landed enclave over in this area. The Pinnacle collection here, as well as the luxury collection, main entrance will be coming over from the Dunearn Road over to this side. They actually chosen the roof line over here as a silhouette and a tribute to our grandstand over at Turf City. I think that's something very meaningful in terms of the facade that we'll be having for this block. And when we look over from the other side, Turf City is just right behind. We have Dunearn Road, and overlooking to this side, also we can see the landed houses together with Bukit Timah Hill. So this will be the 2 blocks of the 19 stories, and this will be the 3 blocks of the 10-story blocks that we have for Dunearn House. The site plan, these are the 2 blocks over for the Pinnacle collection and the other 3 blocks. So to make things easy, right, I've actually circled the activity zone over in the site plan already. Over here we have the main pool area, the 50 meters lap pool, children kids pool over here, and further on to the south side of the development, we have the playground over here, play garden pavilion, the crawl and jump garden, as well as the forest adventure. One stretch over here for kids to play. So I think that's going to be very fun. Not forgetting we have a tennis court here, and our gym and our clubhouse will be near to the main entrance as well. And towards the back, we have the spa pool and the quieter pools behind this block. We have a reading corner, meeting pods, and facilities more towards the back of the development. So these 2 sides will be more of the quieter zone, and then the activity zones will be towards this side. Just to orientate you very quickly, we have the MRT near to this side. So along this road, we have 2 side gates here, and we have 1 side gate to the back because possibly they may be building another road behind. So developer is very kind to build another side gate over here. So 3 side gates and 1 more side gate over here to the main entrance. This is where the car will drive in. There will be a lift coming up that leads you to the clubhouse. To show you some facilities view, this is the drop-off area, and you will take the arrival lift up to the clubhouse area, that is this one. So at the clubhouse, we will overlook the main pool, the 50 meters lap pool at this corner, the outdoor and the indoor fitness gym as well. And this will be the greenery view when you're looking out using your outdoor fitness. Makes you feel calm when you're using this. All this corner, they are more towards this area. Later on, I'll be showing you this play area and the spa pool as well as the waterfall lounge. This is the play area where we can see the crawl and jump garden. We have the forest adventure garden. This will be towards the south side of the development. And towards the back, the wellness pool. We have the spa seats over there. And from the back, we have the waterfall club, which we have the waterfall pot here. So imagine we are near to this waterfall area. You can hear the water dripping down. I think that will make you feel very calm when you're around this area and when you're using the facilities here in the waterfall club. And just right up here on top of the waterfall pot, along this corner, we do have the waterfall terrace and the waterfall dining as well. I think that we have a very good mixture in terms of having the nice main activity areas together with some quiet, relaxing zone for the people who are going to be staying in Dunearn House. Before we proceed to the floor plans, support me and join my Telegram channel. And for now, the developer has only provided about 3 floor plans for us to take a look. And these 3 floor plans will actually be their Showflat unit. The smallest one for their 2-bedroom plus study, 667 square feet. This is under the luxury collection. And we can see, how come over here they do not give a dumbbell layout? Because by right, most of the units, especially those launches that we see in the OCR, 2 bedrooms, 2 plus study, most of the time we want to do a dumbbell layout. But for here, we can see a non-dumbbell layout. Dumbbell layout, usually you have a room here and another room here to make the whole size more efficient. But in this case, for this, we have a conventional layout. And not only that, when we take a look, we have a tuck-in kitchen with windows for all their toilets and their kitchen. So is this important or not? In our next part series, we'll explain more. When all the floor plans are released, we'll be doing a very detailed floor plan comparison to see whether does this make sense or not. With this, they have a study space over here as a flexible space. So this can be your study corner, this can be your storeroom, which I find it very helpful for people staying in this area in terms of the storage. Or if you find that the dining area over here is too small, you can always hack this and you can make a bigger dining here. So that's something I feel very thoughtfully done over for this Bukit Timah Dunearn area in terms of the 2 bedrooms. As mentioned, they don't have the dumbbell layout, but is this important? Is the dumbbell layout better, or is the conventional layout more preferred in this area? I'll be talking about this more in my part 2 series when all the floor plans are released. Moving on to our next Showflat floor plan. This will be under our luxury collection as well, coming at 947 square feet. Just now we already saw the 2 plus study come with windows over in the kitchen and the toilets as well. This one is no exception. We have a longer kitchen over here that is enclosable. Not only that, it comes with a storeroom and a helper's WC over here. And of course, all the windows will be in the bathrooms as expected from this layout. And not only that, we have a study area as well, which also has a window. The location of this study, I feel that is useful because sometimes people may find that this master bedroom is a little bit small. Let's say if you want to shift your wardrobe over to this side, maybe you hack this one, you have a bigger bedroom space, then you can actually shift your wardrobe over to this side. So these 2 rooms can be combined into 1 room. Without hacking any walls, you can actually shift your door from here to here. That means you make one more door here and then you remove these two doors. Otherwise, you can actually hack this portion as well to combine these two rooms into a big master bedroom, which I find it to be helpful in terms of the layout in this area. All these are the corner units that will be in 766, 768 and block 770. And last one, on to our Pinnacle collection. These will be our 4 bedrooms premium plus study, one of our biggest units in 1378 square feet. We already have a very big master bedroom. See over here, the space is huge. We can put a dresser, baby cot over there, and we have a his and hers wardrobe. Not only that, if you find that this bedroom is still very small, you can combine this to make it into one bedroom. So how do you do that? Maybe you can do another door here, combine these two rooms together, and that will give you a super big master bedroom. Otherwise, this can be your storeroom or your helper's room. You have another 3 bedrooms as well, and I like that these 2 bedrooms are like an ensuite. You don't have to step out to use the bathroom. They just have to use this sliding door over here to access this common bathroom. And of course, this one comes with a window as the other bathrooms over here as well. Then we can see that over here, not only we have a landscape and living dining, and we have the white kind of kitchen frontage over here with an island in the middle. Through the past launches nearby, like those we see in Pine Tree Hill or Holland Village, this kitchen layout has proved to be the most popular so far, because when we open up this part, then essentially this whole area becomes like a hosting area. So I think that this layout will be very popular when it comes to the sales of Dunearn House. We do not have a private lift, but this being harmonized, that means that you get the full space of this 1378 square feet in this unit, and we do not have the AC ledgers counted as part of the floor space. So let's say if we were to compare with resale unit, without all the bay windows, without all the private lift, and without all the aircon ledge, then this one, in terms of the size, I think that is very nice. Before we round up this video series, I'd like to touch on the upcoming supply and how to choose our winners here. I'll take this opportunity to show you what are the coming launches as well. In fact, Dunearn House and Amberwood, these two will not be the only ones that will be launching in this area. So I'll just show you over here. This is the Dunearn Bukit Timah stretch. Of course, Dunearn Road is more towards this side and Bukit Timah is just the road opposite lah. And then right now, we're talking about Dunearn House. So the land was sold in 2025 at 1410 per square foot. But there's an error here. Amberwood, they bought the land at 2025. This one is by Simlian. Land cost is quite similar, 1432 per square foot. But in terms of the plot ratio, this one is 1.4 plot ratio. So they are not able to build as high as Dunearn House. And in year 2025, there was a land plot that was close to Newton MRT. Plot ratio 4.9, being sold at 1820 per square foot per plot ratio. So these were the 3 land sales done last year in 2025, and this year another 3 land was sold just beside Dunearn House. This one is done at 1625 per square foot per plot ratio, almost $200 per square foot bigger. If Dunearn House were to launch at average of 3,000, if they have the same markup from the per square foot price, they do 3,000 too, then there will be a lot of cost savings if you buy the bigger units over here. And this year, another land was sold at Holland Plains, as well as Peck Road. So we can see that this will be the pipeline of launches that will be coming. The first one, Dunearn House, and then Amberwood. Possibly the third one could be the one at Bukit Timah Road nearer to the Limpton side. Then next year, all these 3 coming up. And if you have tuned in to my video of these 2026 government land sales, we're actually talking about the other land sites besides here that will be launching and how will it have an effect over for these launches as well. If you haven't done so, tune into that video, because in 2026, in terms of the land sales being released, 2026 and even 2026, a lot of the launches are in very good areas, not just in the central area, but in the rest of central area where it's really a good site that can be much comparable to the CCR. You should tune into that video to have more insights with regards to the pricing that will be happening. So coming back to here, easily we have about 6 launches that's going to be upcoming, including the one for Dunearn House. And last time, right, previously in this whole stretch in 6th Avenue all the way to Beauty World, we did have about 7 launches that launched between 2019 to 2020 as well. I think that is in a very similar situation as what we're going to have right now for this year and next year. And then back then, we have many launches. The first one started from Daintree Residences, followed by Mayfair Garden, Mayfair Modern, View at Kismis, and all the way to Verdale. So they were all peppered around this stretch. We have one here, a couple of here. And in terms of their performance, when we see, I'm not going to name the condos here because I'll be discussing this more on my part 2 Dunearn series. But you can see that for several unit types, for example, this condo itself, this unit type done better compared to this unit type. But then when you see another condo, this unit type actually did better also. So what are all these condos? I'll be revealing them a bit more in my part 2 series. So stay tuned to my part 2 series review video, where I'll be going in depth about the layouts, the pricing, as well as the floor plans, because all these will have an effect when it comes to the selling of the condos in the resale market in future, which we can study from all these. So whether it's the dumbbell layout important, or is the conventional layout important, or how much price gap should we be monitoring, all these things I'll be going through for my part 2 series. So stay tuned to my part 2 series of my video. And as well as in this area, as we mentioned just now, this turf city will be redeveloped. So will this new injection of homes, in the sense of the public housing and the private housing, will it actually have more demand in terms of the houses here, or will it inject more supply that will disrupt the performance of Dunearn House, because we can see over here, Dunearn House is just the first plot that will be launching. There will be a couple of other plots as well. So in terms of the HDBs that will be building over here, what will be their preference in terms of the unit types? And these unit types in Dunearn House, are they suitable for the current crowd staying in this area or not? We will be talking about this more in our part 2 series video. Thank you for staying tuned so far. I hope you like what we share with you. As mentioned, do join my Telegram channel. It will be something that will be very helpful for you in terms of having property experiences that I'll be exchanging with you. And if you have any property queries, feel free to reach out to my WhatsApp. So stay tuned to my next video for part 2 series of Dunearn House. And right immediately next video, we will be launching our Lucerne Grand Condo by CDL, which is at Lakeside MRT. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!